Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live transfer news show on the channel, a Manchester United news and transfer news update. And look, lots and lots to talk about today. And one of the things being reports that Ten Hag is unhappy with not having a signing yet. The Manchester United board cannot understand why fans and Ten Hag are unhappy without signing yet, which it doesn't surprise me, but seriously. And another day where we still haven't got the De Jong deal done. Another day where we still haven't signed a player, but a day where news is positive. And it's an annoying situation because United are trying to say they've changed in the transfer window and all of that, saying we're giving it a different approach. We've changed in the transfer market, bish bash bosh. But how have United changed in the transfer market? They've done fuck all and they've been working on the same deal for weeks and weeks and weeks. And the only thing stopping us signing Frenkie de Jong is the price. How have we changed? And there's really positive links. There's really good news to Antony. There's really good news to Frenkie de Jong. It looks like those deals are likely to happen, but just hurry up and do it, because it's this PR spin. Is this a whole PR spin because Nunes has gone to Liverpool? When is our first signing going to be? Because we can't go on for another week without a player. We need a signing done by next week. For pre-season, Man United are going on pre-season in 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks. No, 3 weeks, yeah? Okay, I was thinking 3 out, 3 in by pre-season. 2 out, 2 in at the least. We're looking at maybe one. No one's gone and no one's come in yet. And you could say it was the beginning of the transfer window, but Ten Hag came to Old Trafford for the Crystal Palace game nearly a month ago. He started work way earlier than he should have because he knew he'd got lots to do. Ten Hag won the Eredivisie. He could have called meetings. Ten Hag was like, no, I'm going to work. Ten Hag comes to Old Trafford. The day after he wins the Eredivisie, that morning, he could be out partying. No, that morning, he's having a meeting with Mitchell van der Gaard, John Mercer, Steve McLaren about transfers. Ten Hag is absolutely on it. Ten Hag knows what he wants, and he's come to work early. And he's told them what he wants, and they haven't delivered. They've lost Darwin Nunes, who apparently was essential to his plans. I don't know what they're doing with Julian Timber. Frenkie de Jong is ours if we can actually go and hurry up and pay the freaking money, but we're faffing around on that. Antony's a target now, but we're always interested in Antony. But is Antony only now a major target because we can't get Darwin Nunes? So our new attacking target is Antony. Because it was said if we couldn't get our main striker target, we'd go for a right winger, Antony. I don't know. But what are United doing? What are United faffing around about? And you can tell that Ten Hag is frustrated as well. It's not positive until it's done. Planning a move, and next week, maybe the following means not much. This is the thing about Ten Hag to Manchester, not Ten Hag. This is the thing about De Jong and Antony and all of these players to Manchester United. Now with Frenkie de Jong, we know that Man United and Barcelona are a click of a finger away from agreeing Frenkie de Jong. Now, Frenkie de Jong could join Man United next week. Frenkie de Jong could join Man United tomorrow. But we are the click of a finger away. And all that we need to do to get this deal done is agree with Barcelona, make a bid and let Barcelona accept that bid. But we don't know if United are going to do that tomorrow. We don't know if United are going to do that next week. We don't know if United are going to do it the week after. But United need to hurry up and do that, because Frenkie de Jong is the player that, Ten Hag plans to build a team around. Ten Hag wants to build a team around Frenkie de Jong. He wants to work with Frenkie de Jong. So if we're faffing around going, let's not pay this money for Frenkie de Jong, let's wait another week. We can't afford to do that. When we have to go on pre-season, when we go on pre-season in 3 weeks, when we have a brand new manager that wants lots done, he wants 6 out, he wants 5 in, and you haven't delivered any of that, and we're on pre-season in 3 weeks, you cannot afford to faff around on another week for Frenkie de Jong to try and save £5 million. Just get him his priority signing in and build a team around Frenkie de Jong. Get players out, get players in, because he wants to get his work done. Ten Hag doesn't want players that don't want to be here, coming on pre-season tour, because they're going to disrupt the dressing room mood. Ten Hag's number one priority at Man United is absolutely to change the dressing room. It's been come out that Ten Hag wants to fix the United dressing room. He wants to get to understand what the root of the problem in the dressing room is. And the root of the problem in the dressing room is players at Man United that we can't sell because they're on stupid wages, that don't want to be there, that are not playing, that are causing trouble. Eric Bailly was causing trouble. He's still here. Wan-Bissaka causing trouble. He's still here. Dean Henderson wants out. He's still here. Martial wants out. He's still here. Phil Jones has been useless for multiple years. He's still here. Pereira's going to come back. What the actual fuck? Tuanzebe's going to come back. What the hell? We need to get these players out before pre-season tour, but more importantly, we need to get players in. Imagine going on a pre-season tour with the exact same squad we finished last season with, the exact same squad of shite. And I tell you this now, Scott McTominay got absolutely dominated in the midfield versus Ireland. Scott McTominay played in the midfield for Scotland versus Ireland and got absolutely dominated by 2 Irish midfielders no one had ever heard of, because Scott McTominay is not it. Scott McTominay is not a good midfielder. I will tell you that now. He's got the good work rate. He's got a good attitude. He has the odd good game here and now, but he's not a good midfielder. Matic played 45 minutes and had more touches than McTominay 90 minutes. McTominay hides. He's not good enough, and he plays week in, week out because he's an academy player, and he plays week in, week out because our board has neglected the midfield for so long. You don't have to sign Frenkie de Jong. We've also got to sign another midfielder on top of Frenkie de Jong. So I don't know what we're doing. Why are we faffing around with the de Jong situation? Because he's not playing next to McTominay next season. He's crap. McTominay was crap for Scotland. He's crap for United. And Ten Hag knows he's crap because Ten Hag's made midfield and signing 2 midfielders the number 1 priority. Will we sign 2 midfielders? Has to wait and see if we get delivered on that. But I am worried. Imagine going on pre-season and playing Fred and Bruno. Right now, Fred and Bruno is all we got. We've got James Garner, we've got Donny coming back, and maybe Frenkie de Jong coming in. But imagine going on pre-season and playing Fred and Bruno, the trio that absolutely lost the midfield battle nearly every game. Like, we can't deal with this. Alex, what makes you think Alex Cook is reliable? I think he's a really underrated journalist. He's obviously been going on Talk Sport, and he said a lot of stuff lately, like Nunes was going to Liverpool before anyone else said it. He then spoke about the Frenkie de Jong stuff before anyone else said it. I know he goes on Talk Sport and all of that, but I think he's definitely a journalist that is worth, paying attention to and listening as well. 1 deal at a time, sheer incompetence from the board. The board is saying they're going to get 2 deals done, but they can't even get 1 deal done. It's a joke. ANTONY or Rafinha, I don't really mind it. Whoever's cheaper, really. I think Rafinha could be better in terms of short-term impact, but I think ANTONY long-term, I'd probably pick ANTONY. De Jong will go. We can keep talking about it, and so far that's all we're doing, waiting for a price to go down. I'm fed up with United just waiting for the de Jong price to go down. I'm absolutely fed up with United, absolutely just faffing around on this Frenkie de Jong deal. Get the deal done. Work on it. Get the deal done. Like, you need to agree with Barcelona fee. It's £68 million. Just offer Barcelona £68 million. De Jong is yours. Then we can build a team around De Jong. I'm fed up of United doing what Man United do, which is just be slow sports news. That is what we are. Just absolutely stupidly slow. And honestly, it does my head in. It absolutely does my head in. Guys, please do smash that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new. Alex, did you give up on Nunes? Nunes has gone to Liverpool. Ajax and Leeds both want 60 million for ANTONY and Rafinha. I mean, it's a lot of money. I don't think either of them are worth that much, but the market's absolutely crazy, isn't it? Scotland were dreadful yesterday, and McTominay was the worst player on the park. So, Steve, exactly. I'm sorry. We cannot be going into next season with Bruno and McTominay and Fred as a midfield three. I like Bruno. I like Fred. I think McTominay has the right attitude. McTominay's not good enough. Bruno's good enough in form. Fred can be a good squad player, and he was one of our best players when Ralph came in. But, imagine getting Frenkie de Jong, spending 70 million on Frenkie de Jong and sticking him next to McTominay. That's basically like having Frenkie de Jong's constantly playing with one less midfielder. I don't think Ten Hag's stupid. In fact, it's come out that Ten Hag's been watching a lot of Man United's games. He's been catching up on a lot of the games from this season. And the first thing Ten Hag's noticed, and Ten Hag's number 1 priority in terms of the pitch, obviously we know Ten Hag's number 1 priority when he comes into Man United is to sort out the dressing room dynamic. But apparently Ten Hag's number 1 priority for when he comes on the pitch is to sort out the midfield. And when Ten Hag was watching United, he couldn't believe the state of our midfield. He couldn't believe the lack of energy in midfield. And Ten Hag believes that we need 2 midfielders. In fact, everyone knows we need 2 midfielders. Now, obviously, Frenkie de Jong's the first one, with Edson Alvarez being a player potentially linked to us, with even Kante being a player linked to us, with Sangare, hopefully. For me, get de Jong, get Sangare. I think it seems too good to be true. United never think how we think. All of us fans go de Jong, Sangare, Timber, ANTONY, Malacia, 5 signings, bish, bash, bosh, get them done. Realistic. Our board don't think like that. Our board don't think, okay, let's get Sangare to partner de Jong. Our board will think, we've got de Jong, we spent 70 million on midfield, that's the midfield complete, let's move to defence, let's move to the attack. And, Ten Hag wants 5 signings, but more and more reports are coming out that Ten Hag might only get 3 signings. Well, that's not good enough for his sons. An attacker, defender, midfielder is not good enough. If you need to build a team, you need 2 attackers, 2 midfielders, 2 defenders at least, and they've got to complement each other. Now, we will get into Christian Eriksen news before the end of the video, because there are reports and rumours that Christian Eriksen will, in fact, not stay at Brentford and will not sign a contract, so he could go to United on a free. But for me, get de Jong done. I just saw Scott McTominay the other day, and he was dreadful. We need 2 midfielders because I don't want to see Scott and de Jong in the midfield pivot. I don't understand it, and we've been saying this for a while, but when I watched McTominay have stinker after stinker after stinker, I just honestly cannot understand how we never even gave Donny a chance in the pivot until we were 2-0 down to Watford and Donny came on and obviously was the best player on the pitch. But it's like, we just don't, it really frustrates me, this weird McTominay love we have at the club and maybe weird Maguire love. And there is a report that Maguire wants to stay Man United captain and all of that as well. And we will get into that because for me, Maguire shouldn't be captain next season. I understand why Maguire would want to be captain and all of that. But for me, there's no way in hell Maguire should be captain of Manchester United next season. We ain't buying no one, even with these reliable sources telling us different. It feels like we're not buying anyone, but we will be buying anyone. And don't worry, Frankie comes this week. Hopefully, Frankie does come this week. But the news on Antony to Manchester United, I'm going to get into the Antony news, and then I am going to get into the Frankie de Jong news. But I feel like we're all a little bit fed up with the word Frankie de Jong. But all I'm going to say on Frankie de Jong is it could be done tomorrow, it could be done next week. It's generally, when are United going to hurry up and get this Frankie de Jong deal done? When are we going to go over the line because we're fed up? But Antony to Man United. So lots of reports from Brazil came out linking Antony to United over the last few days. From Brazil, from Jorge Nicola from Brazil, he said a person close to the Ajax winger Antony said that he is the number one request of Erik ten Hag, and it's just a matter of time and negotiations for agreements to be closed, and that Antony to Man United is expected to reach an agreement very, very soon. Reports coming out of Brazil, not familiar with it all, saying Antony to United, very, very likely expected to reach an agreement soon. He is one of ten Hag's top targets. Now, the British journalists are finally talking about Antony to Manchester United. Now, look, Antony to Manchester United, we've been linked to him for a very, very long time. We've been linked to Antony for a very long time. We actually had talks of Antony and Timber's representatives over a month ago, so we know that Antony is a target. And TalkSport said that Manchester United have not distanced themselves from the rumours linked to Ajax's Antony. And one of the sources said they would be surprised if he didn't join in the summer. So Alex Crook again saying, be surprised if Antony doesn't join in the summer. I think Alex Crook is a good journalist. Alex Crook also said that he thinks Antony and Frankie de Jong are two definite arrivals at Manchester United and they're players that ten Hag trust. So Alex Crook is saying that he thinks Antony and Frankie de Jong will definitely arrive at Manchester United and they're players that ten Hag trust. He's a good journalist with good information. He's very confident that ten Hag will be able to get Frankie de Jong and Antony over the line. And look, I'm hoping that is the case. I'm hoping we can get them both done. But I want Frankie de Jong, I want Antony, I want Sangare, I want Timber, I want Malacia, I even like Scamacca. I don't want us going Frankie de Jong, Antony and Timber, 3 signings, calling it a chance to win their bish bash bosh done. We need to make sure we get Antony, or we get a striker or a right winger if we can't get Antony like Rafinha. But once that is done, we need to make sure we get our midfield sorted. And I think actually the number one priority is midfield. And I think we won't get Antony done and over the line until we've got Frankie de Jong over the line, which is why it's so important we get Frankie de Jong done this week. Because United are really reluctant to invest in Frankie de Jong until they get, United are really reluctant to invest in other business till they get Frankie de Jong done. Apparently, the reason we didn't go in and put a bid in for Darwin Núñez is because we didn't know how much Frankie de Jong was going to cost, which I think is bullshit. I think it's an excuse. But United need to hurry up and get de Jong done so we can focus on our other targets. Because Man United, cannot focus on multiple transfers at once. Liverpool, Man City can get multiple deals done at once, but Manchester United can't. We're imbeciles in the transfer market. So get de Jong done, get Antony done, get Timber done. And United want Timber and de Jong done this week. They want them to have medicals before they go off on holiday. Well, you need to hurry up and get it done. Ekram Konar did say that Manchester United are planning to make a €50 million offer for Brazilian star Antony. He's revealed that United are planning to make a €50 million offer. Ekram Konar, take his information with a pinch of salt, but there's definitely something going on with Antony to Man United. There's definitely something worth keeping an eye out there as well. I'm just taking a quick sip of water as well. Pau Torres, 51 million buyout clause. Pep wants him. They will snap him up like that. Honestly, do you know what I'm worried about? Is Frankie de Jong is a player that I can see Man City wanting. Frankie de Jong is a player that would be very good at Man City. And it's like the more and more we faff on Frankie de Jong, the more and more worried that I could see Frankie de Jong heading to City. Look at Darwin Núñez to United. It looked like he was United comfortable. It looked like United were winning the race for Darwin Núñez. And Liverpool within 4 days got that deal done. Liverpool were not even barely linked to Darwin Núñez. We were the most heavily team linked with Darwin Núñez. We were very, very working hard on that Darwin Núñez deal. Very heavily linked to Darwin Núñez. And we've been linked with Darwin Núñez for 5-6 weeks. And then Liverpool all of a sudden get linked to him, and 2 days later they've got Darwin Núñez. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Who should be Man United captain, guys? Let me know in the chat. I think Ronaldo should be Man United captain. And our team up top, Darren Fletcher and Murta, are as bad as Woodward and Judge. I don't know if they're as bad as Woodward and Judge, but I don't think they're much better. They're only in that job because they're at the club and the Glazers trust them. Darren Fletcher should not be getting that job. He has no experience in that job. No one knows what he does. John Mercer shouldn't be getting that kind of job, but he does because the Glazers trust him. I think there'll be an improvement on Woodward and Judge. I think not Ragnick coming. I think Ten Hag coming in. I think if it was Woodward and Judge, we'd be seeing maybe Pochettino coming. But we need to see, something from Mercer, something from Fletcher, because if you haven't got Frankie de Jong done, if you don't sign 2 midfielders, if you don't get Eric Ten Hag his transfer targets, then what have you done that's better than Woodward and Judge? And that is a decent point as well. But honestly, I'm hoping and praying we get something done soon because we need to build a team. Is it water or whiskey? It is water, but I tell you what, I'm feeling really, really sleepy. Someone said captain should be Ten Hag. No. Captain should be Ronaldo. People saying Frankie de Jong captain. Give de Jong a season. Maybe have Ronaldo captain. You put de Jong captain next season if he shows captain mentality. The media and some fans exposed a lot of players at United, and that's why it'll be hard to sell these players. United kept and made useless players as stars. No one wants the players. I think everyone knows the Man United players are lazy. I mean, look, Man United were the most underperforming team in Europe, and the fact that Ralf Rangnick can go on Austria international duty and get that Austria team gang pressing and playing good football within a week. Man United gave, Man United gave Ralf Rangnick what he wanted for half an hour versus Crystal Palace, then gave up. Because we don't have the fitness, we're not fit enough. And in fact, we have the egos. We think at the end of the day, he's only an interim manager. He's not that experienced. He's not won major trophies. Why should me, massive Man United player, listen to Ralf Rangnick? Because if you listen to Ralf Rangnick's instructions, I guarantee you we would have got a lot more points than we did. When Rashford's coming on and not listening to his instructions, when Lingard's coming on and ignoring his instructions, you wonder why we can't score goals. We wonder why we can't win points. You wonder why we can't win games when some of our players blatantly refuse to listen to Ralf Rangnick's tactics. The whole Austria team is brought into Ralf Rangnick's tactics. They've not lost a game in 3 games. Austria. And they're playing France. They're not playing easy sides. United were losing every single game because the problem was our players. They were not buying in to Ralf Rangnick's philosophy because the players thought they were too big and too good to listen to Ralf Rangnick. And this is what annoys me about the Man United players is their ego. Maybe the Oli protection, but the ego on some of these United players. They think they were too good to listen to Ralf Rangnick. They were too good to listen to Oli, and they need a manager that's really, really good to manage them. Well, in fact, no, you need to be good players to your manager. It absolutely infuriated me. As well, 99 talking pace. As Gaz says, guys, please do smash that like button and, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, please do subscribe to Alice Talks Football to stay up to date with all of the news. What is the news on Frankie de Jong to Manchester United? This is exactly what we're going to be getting into. De Jong to United. So, Mullock of the Mirror. Now, look, the Mirror isn't the best source of information, but this is one of the better journalists from the Mirror, said that Frankie de Jong is convinced that his future lies with Manchester United. Rich Fay also said that Manchester United insist they will not overpay for de Jong this summer, which is a negotiation tactic. But Malik of the Mirror said that Frankie de Jong has been advised not to speak publicly about his proposed move to Manchester United until both Man United and Barca have agreed on a fee. And look, the whole situation with de Jong to United is Man United and Barca are fighting over a fee. Barca want more money. Man United want to pay less money. Barca need the money for Frankie de Jong, and they can't really afford to faff around on Frankie de Jong too much. They've got that July 1st deadline. And Man United know how desperate Barcelona are for Frankie de Jong money. And I think that's why United are faffing around with Frankie de Jong, because United know that if this deal drags on to late June, Barcelona will cave in and say, yes, take de Jong for 60 million, because they will need any money they get. But the problem with United taking their time on the de Jong deal, and the problem with United just taking so long on the de Jong deal is de Jong could disappear. We could get to a point that Barcelona have sold another player and they don't need to sell de Jong, and they've told de Jong he can stay. And if de Jong told he can stay, I think he'd go, okay, I'll go back to Barcelona. Man City have got an interest in de Jong. Manchester City could easily just go and swoop in for Frankie de Jong in a few days. And that's why I'm like, United think Frankie de Jong deals in safe hands. United think they're getting Frankie de Jong, and I think we are getting Frankie de Jong. I think it's 80% likely, but I think we need to stop stalling on this Frankie de Jong deal. Honestly, I think we do. Let me just grab a quick sip here as well. But I'm just getting absolutely fed up with it. Honestly, I just want here we go. And honestly, this is the thing. I don't know how long I'm going to be here saying Frankie de Jong to United is 95% likely. I could be sitting here tomorrow and we could get a here we go, or David Ornstein tweets, United have reached an agreement with Barcelona, £68 million to be paid like this, blah, blah, blah. That's what I want, but I don't know if that's coming next week. I don't know if that's coming tomorrow. I don't know when that's coming. I don't know if it's coming in a month. I don't know if it's never happening. But what I will say is the transfer window is open. United, every single year before COVID, had got transfer business done. Their first signing done before June 12th. We haven't this year. We finished 6th last season. We are in our biggest rebuild in ages. We finished 6th last season. We've got a new manager in. Haven't signed anyone yet. Rivals Liverpool, 100 million on a striker. Rivals Man City, nearly 100 million on Alvarez and Erling Haaland. Man City and Liverpool are the two best teams in the land right now, and they're two teams that have nearly spent 100 million already this window. Man United are not one of the best teams in the land. In fact, Man United are one of the worst teams in the land, cannot sell any of their players, and still haven't brought anyone. De Jong, 68 million is a steal. We're only getting De Jong because he has to leave Barcelona in our relationship with Ten Hag. I just don't understand how we can even be wasting time on this De Jong deal. It's silly to me. Why aren't Man United going for Botman or Bastoni or Scamacca? United need at least half a dozen 50 million signings in the next few windows and get a dozen out like Henderson, Martial. I agree. I don't know if Botman will work, but United definitely need to work on deals. Malacia is coming. Malacia is definitely a deal to keep an eye on. I think that would be a deal that would happen towards the end of the transfer window, though, as well. And if we get 5 10 signings, I predict United to finish 3rd, maybe 2nd if Liverpool City have a bad season. Maybe 3rd. I'm going to predict United 4th or 5th this season, but I don't know where. I'm not going to predict where United are going to finish until the transfer window is up, if I'm going to be honest with you, because I just don't know what United are going to do in the transfer window. I don't know if it'll be a good transfer window. I don't know if it'll be a bad transfer window. But hopefully better. Frankie de Jong is a good leader and he speaks good English. Frankie de Jong, for me, I'd give Ronaldo captain's armband for another year, and then I'd look to give it to Frankie de Jong, because Man United's plan is to build a team around Frankie de Jong. And as Josiah said here, Aston Villa signed Kamara about Champions League, and United are still struggling to sign players for weeks. Now something's not right, but let's be patient. It's not right. Something's not right. How can Aston Villa sign players like Kamara and we can't? We showed interest in Kamara in January. We could have got Kamara for 10 million in January, and United were like, no. We could have got Hader in January. United were like, no. Julian Alvarez is an absolute baller. With 17 million pounds, he's gone to Man City. Ralph Rangnick wanted him in January, and the board ignored Ralph Rangnick and literally let him go to Man City. And you wonder why we're so far behind Man City as well. Mullet of the Mirror said Erik Ten Hag explained how he's planning to bring the glory years back to United, and Ten Hag reminded him of his success at Ajax. So again, the Malik of the Mirror is talking about De Jong to Manchester United, how De Jong is convinced his future lies with Man United, and talking about De Jong's phone calls with Man United, saying that Ten Hag is reminding Frankie de Jong about what they did at Ajax, how Frankie de Jong will be crucial to the team, and trying everything to convince Frankie de Jong to come. The funny thing is, Erik Ten Hag has done his bit. He's convinced Frankie de Jong to come. It's now up to our board to go pay the money and get that De Jong deal done. Because all it needs to do is us to pay the money and get that deal done. That's all that needs to happen for De Jong to come to United, and we just don't seem to be doing it. The Mirror also said Erik Ten Hag explained how he's planning to bring the glory days back, and reminded not Donny. I keep wanting to say Donny Ivanovic, De Jong, about the glory days at Ajax. So Ten Hag literally said to De Jong, "You're going to be the main man in my rebuild. I'm going to build a team around you. Look at what we did at Ajax. Come to United. The plan is to achieve this at United." And he's convinced. Ten Hag is absolutely convinced De Jong to come to United, but it's now up to can United pay the money, get a fee agreed. And 2 years ago for Sancho, we were faffing around trying to save £5 million for so long that we missed out on Sancho and we had to wait a year. If we miss out on De Jong this year, we're never getting him. It's not like he wants to come again next year. We're only getting De Jong because he's not wanted at Barcelona and he's really, really wanted by us. And Ten Hag explained to De Jong how he would like to build a team around us at the Mirror. So the Mirror, again, is saying Ten Hag wants to build a team round Frankie de Jong. And I think that's the right choice. I've always said this, United could sign Frankie de Jong, but my problem is I don't mind if United sign Frankie de Jong as long as we build a team around Frankie de Jong, as long as we get Sangarian or Relema or I don't know, whoever Ten Hag believes will be a good partner for Frankie de Jong, but ideally something defensive-minded, we build a team around Frankie de Jong. My biggest fear is that United go out there and they sign Frankie de Jong like we're about to. I think Frankie de Jong's like 80% done unless the board absolutely messed that up. But once we sign Frankie de Jong, we go, that's the midfield done. We move on to the attack, and there we go. De Jong's stuck with McTominay next season, and that is my worst nightmare. But De Jong, I think, is hinting that he's going to United. I think De Jong probably knows he's going to United, and there's more news making De Jong to United look more and more like it's going to happen. And an ESPN journalist asked Frankie de Jong whether he's going from the beaches of Catalonia to the cold of Manchester, and he said he can't say anything. He doesn't think he can say anything. And if Frankie de Jong wasn't seriously considering United, he just said no. If we asked another player this that wasn't linked to United, that we knew United weren't in for, they would just say no. The fact that Frankie de Jong just doesn't say no, he says he can't say anything, means there's a likeliness that it will happen. like a genuine likeliness that it'll happen, and that's what we need to do. And it's also been said from Steve Bates that Erik ten Hag told Manchester United bosses to seal a deal quick for Frenkie de Jong, as he wants the midfielder on pre-season tour. And once he's got Frenkie de Jong, he can plan his team, his plans. The team he's going to build around Frenkie de Jong. But again, United just don't seem to be on that. And it's also been said by Steve Bates that Erik ten Hag does not want to be left waiting all summer for Frenkie de Jong, only to be let down if an agreement cannot be reached. This is why he's pushing for an early answer from Barcelona. More like he needs to know if Barcelona are going to lower their price, because United just don't seem to want to pay the asking price for Frenkie de Jong. And I just think we need a midfielder that badly. It's Ten Hag's #1 signing. I just think hurry up and pay the asking price. I just think that's what United need to do. Jong is more of a quiet type. De Ligt was the big personality and leader. Ajax, I do agree as well. How much is Dean Henderson? How is Dean Henderson paid more than Mane and Martial? And Martial paid more than Salah? Fuck me, I don't know. The fact that Dean Henderson gets more than Mane and Martial gets more than Salah probably explains why we can't sell Dean Henderson or Martial. United want to sell Martial, United want to sell Dean Henderson, but United are struggling to sell them because they're not getting offers. And maybe when you look at the wage bill and you think, well, maybe that's why no one's giving them an offer. If they want to leave the club, they've got to take less than wages. And are they willing to do that? You have to wait and see as well. People predicting 2 signings. I think we will sign 3 or 4 players. But again, I'm going to judge the transfer window in August. But what I am going to say is I think it's disappointing we haven't got anyone yet, because we've got a new manager and he wants to get to business. He wants new signings in for pre-season. And United are just absolutely faffing around on that as well, trying to save 5 million, as Gal said. 132 likes, guys. We're going to go for 250 likes. We've got over 400 people watching. We need 120 more likes. So keep smashing that like button if you have not already. It's very concerning we haven't sold anyone yet, or nearly have. Honestly, I don't know what we're doing with players. I don't know what we're faffing around. But the fact that Man United still haven't sold a player, like, that concerns me. That 100% confirms me. Need to buy transfer negotiations, and Man United have got their pants pulled down ever since David Gill resigned. Exactly. What are we in the transfer market? Shit. Absolutely shit. I don't even know what we do. What do we do to spend so long on a deal? What do we do in 4 weeks of talks with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong? Surely we've done enough that all we need to do now is put the money and put in a bid. Honestly, Johan says just wire the money. I'm all for that. But Man United should get at least 3 players, says Steve. I agree. And Gaz has pointed out over 400 people watching, so do subscribe down below as well. I'm really sorry that I'm a little bit sleepy. Look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the Manchester United squad, and I'm going to go Manchester United players. And we're going to look at these players, and De Jong and Antony seem to be the first 2 signings, but we're going to look at these players and go, actually, are they gonna work under Ten Hag or not? Thank you very much, Neville, for the super chat. Love the content. We'll be okay this window. Neville, I really appreciate the positivity, and I really appreciate the super chat. It means a lot. Again, I'm going to judge the transfer window in August. I'm not going to get too mad at the fact we haven't signed anyone. I'm not going to get too annoyed at the fact we haven't signed anyone. But it's just the fact that we know Ten Hag wanted his business done before July. He wanted his business done before pre-season, and we're faffing on it. I'm hoping Frenkie de Jong will be done in the next few days. And I think, again, once you get that tweet from Romano or Ornstein saying the Frenkie de Jong deal's agreed, it's hours away from being announced and agreed. Would you give de Jong the number 20 kit? Or stay with his 21, number 10 kits, whatever de Jong wants. I think de Jong is going to be the statement signing, the signing we build a team around. So I think do whatever Frenkie de Jong wants as well. Martial getting more than Salah is the reason our club is where it is. Vicious circle, mediocrity, hype, and money. I agree. I think the problem is, we give so many mediocre players such big contracts to beg them to stay, that when we do need to sell them because eventually they flop, we can't sell them. We can't seem to sell Martial because of his wages. We can't seem to sell Phil Jones because of his wages as well. Ralph had the quality to identify Waitrose quality players at Aldi, and Man United let him go. So Bart, you're absolutely spot on, Bart. We did, and I think we're letting go of Ralph is one of the sillier things we did as well. Frankie will keep 21, I'd assume. So we get robbed by other teams while other football teams like Liverpool and City are getting bargains. Do you know what it is about United though? Man United are that boy when you go clubbing and there's that one boy that's got their interest in every girl. He's got his eye on every girl, and he'll buy every girl a drink, but he still won't take a girl home with him. That is Man United. They will buy the girl a drink. They will iron up the girl. They'll be showing interest in the girl. They'll be doing everything they can to get the girl. But the one thing they don't do is they don't bring the girl home with them. And that's like, Man United are that boy in the club. That is what Man United do as well. I think the worst part is City and Liverpool have brought people. I think if City and Liverpool hadn't signed in, we could all be a bit chill. And I don't care. I've said 100 times, I really couldn't care that Darwin Núñez has gone to Liverpool. It's just obviously the fact that he was a 10-hour target. But what I am going to do is I am going to share my screen with you guys just now. So keep hitting that like button, keep subscribing down below if you're new, keep sharing the video, bish, bash, bosh, and that. I go live every single day on the channel, by the way, guys. So if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed to Let's Talk Football, please do subscribe for daily live streams on the channel. But let's go through the squad. Let's go through what maybe Ten Hag should do. Let's go through maybe what Ten Hag plans to do. So Ten Hag plans to use David De Gea next season. David De Gea will be the first choice keeper next season. Obviously, Dean Henderson will go. I think with David De Gea, you keep him for a season, see if you can adapt to Ten Hag's style of play, and if you can't, you address it with a new keeper like Sanchez from Brighton next season. Lee Grant's gone, out of contract. Tom Heaton, rumoured to go, but we don't know yet. And of course, Dean Henderson seems to be out the door. Dean Henderson, looking for a loan, looking for a move. Again, it's United holding him hostage, but Dean Henderson looking for a little bit of game time as well. If you go into the defence, Victor Lindelof will be here next season. I don't know how many seasons he'll be here, but I think he'll be there as a bench player and backup. Eric Bailly will be gone. Ralph Ragnick wants him gone. Ten Hag wants him gone. The board wants him gone. He's got too many injury records. I actually do think, and I have said this before, I've always thought Eric Bailly is actually better than Harry Maguire on his day. But Harry Maguire, you get consistency. At the moment, Harry Maguire's consistency is consistently shit. But I think Eric Bailly will go. Phil Jones needs to go. I don't think we're able to sell him. Harry Maguire will stay. Harry Maguire will be here next season, and I will get into the article about Harry Maguire and the captain's armband beef. Maguire will be here next season, whether you like it or not. He is an important player for Man United. He is an important player for England. He is one of our best centre-backs when in form. The problem is, when the fuck is he ever in form? No one really knows. But Harry Maguire, I think, will have a good season next year. I think with some discipline, with some dressing room mentality changes, Maguire will have a good season. Varane will stay next season. Diego Dalot will stay next season. Luke Shaw will stay next season. And Alex Telles, I believe, will stay next season. But we don't know about Alex Telles. Wan-Bissaka will probably leave. I think Wan-Bissaka's going to leave. Alvaro Fernandez could get promoted for the first team. Pogba will leave. Mata will leave. Lingard will leave. Fred will stay. Bruno will stay. Matic will leave. And McTominay and Mejbri will stay. And look, honestly, I'm fucking... Sorry about that. Scott McTominay at midfield. We do not want to see it again. We do not want to see it one bit as well. Let's be patient. We are back again with Eric Ten Hag. Look, I'm going to be patient. I just realised you can't even see my face because the freaking banner's in the way. But not that you're missing much. I'm absolutely falling asleep. But Eric Ten Hag will be patient. And I've always said this about Eric Ten Hag to Manchester United. I will always back Eric Ten Hag. My plan is to always back Eric Ten Hag, even if it goes tits up in the first season. Because I've got the impression that actually, the problem at Manchester United is nothing to do with the manager. The problem at Manchester United is to do with the players. And Eric Ten Hag to Man United, his first season is going to be very difficult, especially at the way it's going. He's looking like he's not even going to be backed, which is an outrage. New manager, you've got to back him in the first season. But if we have a poor season next year and we don't get top four, I don't want to see Man United fans Eric Ten Hag out. I want to see Man United fans turn on the board and persuade the board to back Eric Ten Hag or persuade the board to get Eric Ten Hag's targets. Because Ten Hag wants a full-back, a centre-back, 2 midfielders and an attacker. I guarantee you Man United at most will deliver 3 out of those 5 targets at most. That's what I guarantee United will do. And that's not good enough for Ten Hag. He needs his players. And look, guys, I really hope I make sense because for some reason, I'm trying my best to stay awake, but I'm absolutely knackered. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep. I don't know why. So I don't know. I feel like I'm falling asleep while talking, so I hope that I made sense. United are boring. Alice is yawning so much. Alice is falling asleep as well. Like, literally, I was about to start talking about one of my mates instead of a Man United player for some reason. I was about to say one of my mates instead of a Man United player for some reason. I was about to absolutely mess up. But so I don't know if I said anything weird. I don't know if I said anything weird. My mind, I literally just went in like a daydream while talking. I was about to start talking about parties. And what is she on? What is she on? She's absolutely knackered. What is she on? But where were we? Okay, I don't know where we are. We were bitching about Scott McTominay not being good enough. Wan-Bissaka is who we want. We want to get rid of Wan-Bissaka. Will we? We'll have to wait and see. Alvaro Fernandez will probably be promoted and given a chance. He did win under 23's player of the season. Paul Pogba is gone. Mata is gone. Lingard is gone. Bish Bash Bosh. Wage Bill looking better. Fred the Red will be here next season, and I think he will be important under Ten Hag. He will press. He was one of our best players under Ragnick. Bruno Fernandes is one of Man United's best players. I have to say this. Bruno was crap towards the end of last season. When Bruno versus Arsenal was one of the worst performances I've ever seen a player put in a Man United shirt in my life. Bruno was absolutely dreadful. That Bruno assist to the Crystal Palace game when we lost 1-0, absolutely dreadful. Bruno had an absolutely dreadful second half of the season, but let's not what really frustrates me is Man United fans are acting like Bruno's trash. They're acting like Bruno's trash because he's had a couple poor months of form. Let's not forget that Bruno Fernandes came into a side with Andres Pereira, Jesse Lingard, Brandon Williams, Marcus Rashford, Martial, Juan Mata, McTominay, Fred, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, and De Gea, all starting regularly, all starting week in, week out. And Bruno Fernandes came into that side and took them from 8th place to 3rd place, going 14 games unbeaten, getting a goal and assist in every other game. Bruno Fernandes single-handedly saved Ollie's job. Ollie would have been gone by the end of that season if it was not for Bruno Fernandes. And people might see that as a negative, saying, but if Ollie had gone a few seasons ago, we wouldn't have got Ten Hag, because this is the opportunity to get Ten Hag. So everything happens for a reason. But Bruno's got a new contract. Bruno's been shit since he's got a new contract. Bruno was very good for Portugal the other night. Bruno is a good player. And I am more than happy for Bruno to be at Man United next year and start. As long as, though, if Bruno underperforms, you play Donny. I'm happy for Bruno to start, but if he starts playing like he did second half of the season, you play Donny. But it really infuriates me that there's a lot of Man United fans going, Bruno's crap, sell Bruno, write him off. Bruno is frustrating. The way Bruno plays, the way he gives the ball away, it's frustrating. Bruno's had some shocking games. But let's not forget what Bruno did in his first 2 years at Man United. Let's not forget that Bruno is one of our best players. Okay? And look, I don't want to see Bruno, McTominay, and Fred as our midfield three ever again. If Ten Hag is playing Fred and Bruno week in, week out, honestly, I'll absolutely lose it. I do not want to see that at Man United. No one wants to see that at Man United. But, we want to see Bruno. We want to see Fred. But we don't want to see, for me, I don't want to see McTominay in the lineup next season. But I don't mind seeing Bruno and Fred and De Jong maybe given a go. I don't think it will work. I want to see two midfielders at United. But I think Bruno will be in the plans, and I think if he's poor, he's dropped. Matic is gone. McTominay, I am going to say this now. I know every manager that's come to United seems to have this weird love for McTominay and seems to really rate McTominay. Every manager that's come to United seems to really, really rate Scott McTominay. And a lot of us sit here and go, I can't see it. Why does every single manager seem to rate McTominay? Why does every single manager seem to think McTominay's the shit? I don't think Ten Hag rates McTominay. Scotland fans that don't even support United don't rate Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay normally plays in defence for Scotland because he's not good enough to get ahead of John McGinn and Billy Gilmore. Scott McTominay's only called up for England because he plays for United and he's got a good work rate, got a good passion. You've got to think about this. You've actually got to think about this. Mourinho rated Scott McTominay, but he was a young boy. He was 20. Scott McTominay is older than Donny van der Beek. Scott McTominay is older than Frankie de Jong. Let's not act like Scott McTominay is young with potential anymore. Scott McTominay is in the prime of his career. And in the prime of his career, Scott McTominay is getting absolutely dominated against Ireland for Scotland, and Irish players we've never heard of are making Scott McTominay like shite. He plays defence for Scotland because he can't get in the midfield. And, Scott McTominay in his prime, played 90 minutes, and in 90 minutes he had less touches than a finished Matic in 45 minutes. Matic plays 45 minutes, is more involved in the game when he's finished than a prime Scott McTominay. And I'm not saying that to be a knobhead. I don't think we should sell Scott McTominay this season. We need to keep Scott McTominay this season. We need him for squad depth, and he's not causing dressing room issues. But I don't think Ten Hag rates him because Ten Hag wants two midfielders. Ten Hag's priority is two midfielders. We've got Donny coming back. We've got Garner coming back. You could say, oh, they're new signings. But he still wants two midfielders. He still sees it as a priority. Frankie de Jong being number one, but also a defensive partner for Frankie de Jong. And I think, Rangnick rated Scott McTominay, or did Rangnick rate Scott McTominay, or did Rangnick just play McTominay because he listened to his instructions? Elanga played week in, week out, not Rashford, because Elanga listened to Rangnick's instructions. But Ollie loved McTominay, Mourinho loved McTominay. Everyone goes, okay, Ten Hag's going to come and he's going to love McTominay. He's going to play McTominay week in, week out. But if you look at the way Ten Hag wants to play, Scott McTominay doesn't suit it, not one bit. And the fact that Ten Hag's been watching Man United games and been going, yeah, we need that midfield sorted, he obviously doesn't rate our midfield that much. Obviously not. Buy free transfers, Ericsson maybe. I think Maguire could be gone in a year. I think Scott McTominay could be gone in a year. You never know. But you have to wait and see as well. Alice, when do you think we'll make an official bid for De Jong? Next Wednesday. I think Wednesday we'll get a big De Jong update. I think next Wednesday we'll get an absolute big De Jong update. I can't believe I almost fell asleep on my live stream. It's because I'm so bored of talking about United in the transfer window. It's absolutely boring me as well. Julian Timber, next signing. The next signing for me will be Frenkie de Jong or Antony. I think it will be Frenkie de Jong as well. Honestly, McLaren has talked up squad quite a bit. Always someone on his side in the mix. Unfortunately, United need to get over their big love. Man United are in talks for Lewandowski. I don't think we are. Like, we've got Ronaldo. I don't think we need another big aging striker. Are you sure we're in talks for Lewandowski? Let me have a look at this. Are United in talks for Lewandowski? Let me go on that. It's come out that Manchester United are expected to take advantage of João Palhinha's expected arrival at Wolves by making an offer for Ruben Neves. British journalists are linking United to Neves. Why are British journalists linking United to Neves? Because we won't get Neves and de Jong. We'll only get Neves if we don't get de Jong. Man United are briefing the British journalists to pretend we're in for Ruben Neves when we're not in for Ruben Neves. We're interested in, but we're not in for him. But United are briefing loads of British journalists to pretend we're in for Ruben Neves so we can hurry up and put in a bid for Ruben Neves. So Barcelona, not that we can hurry up and put in a bid for Ruben Neves. So Barcelona can hurry up and lower the price. It's to scare Barcelona to think we won't pay the money for de Jong, so we'll pretend we're in for Ruben Neves as well. You know, Man United will not buy Ruben Neves on top of de Jong. A de Jong and Ruben Neves pivot will not work. It will not complement each other. You need a Lema for de Jong. You potentially need Sangare. For me, I think you need a Sangare for de Jong. But honestly, I just think, you know, all the Neves stories, it's not happening. United are generally just throwing this Neves name around for British journalists to try and scare Barcelona into lowering the price. Garnacho scored a free kick today for Argentina against France and 1 goal of the tournament. Garnacho is absolutely smashing it at the moment. I tell you this now at Argentina youth level. Garnacho is absolutely smashing it. But I want to get into some more news because Alice today has been absolutely falling asleep in a live stream, and I can't even stay awake. But I don't know if we're in for Lewandowski. Apparently Barcelona might not get Lewandowski. I don't know. I don't expect to see Lewandowski at Manchester United because we've got Ronaldo. I think if we get a striker, it's a young striker. I just don't think. I know we need another striker, but Lewandowski's not going to want to come to United if he's not starting week in, week out. Ronaldo and Lewandowski are two players that want to be the main striker and start week in, week out. You cannot have Ronaldo and Lewandowski in the same squad because what if one of them's not starting week in, week out? They're going to get annoyed. It's going to cause ego problems. It's going to cause dressing room problems and all of that. We will talk about Garnacho. We will talk about Man United news, but I will say the Ruben Neves link. The Man United, whenever they are in negotiations, in a bidding war, I call it negotiations, fighting over price. Right now, with Frenkie de Jong to United, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Frenkie de Jong to United. De Jong is now open to joining Man United. Ten Hag has done his bit and convinced de Jong to come. De Jong knows he cannot stay at Barcelona. Barcelona have to sell De Jong. They need the money for De Jong. United 100% number one target is Frenkie de Jong. Ten Hag wants De Jong. United and Barcelona have been in negotiations for Frenkie de Jong for a while, but those negotiations have recently stepped up this week because Barcelona have now told Frenkie de Jong he's got to go, and De Jong is given the green light that he wants to move to Manchester United. De Jong's not even denying it in interviews. But if De Jong wants to come to United now and United want De Jong, what's going on? What's the faffing? Barcelona wants £68 million. Let's say £70 million. Just make it a bit more easy. £70 million for Frenkie de Jong. United are only willing to pay £60 million for de Jong. United believe that if they waste another week on the de Jong deal, Barcelona will get scared because they need that money by July 1st and will lower the de Jong price by £10 million. But United are playing a very, very risky game because the longer we wait on the de Jong saga, the longer we spend on this de Jong saga, City could swoop in, pay the money and get him in 2 days, bish bash boss. City and Liverpool get players in 2 days. We get players in 2 months. What are we doing? What are we playing around with? And United do this thing. We did this with Bruno, we did this with Sancho, we did this with Rafael Varane. Whenever we're a couple of days away from signing a player and putting in a bid, we get British journalists to leak room for an alternative. All the Ousmane Dembele news came out 2-3 days before we signed Jadon Sancho. Remember that. The Dybala news or Ericsson news came out just before we signed Bruno Fernandes. Even Donny van de Beek news came out. Even Ziyech news came out just before we signed Bruno Fernandes, saying we're looking at alternatives. Just before we signed Bruno, Simon Stone did a negative tweet saying United might drop out the Bruno race because they can't afford him. Yeah? He did that. We didn't do that. We still went for Bruno. We still paid the money Sporting won. United want to save £5 million, so they want Barcelona to think we're looking at Ruben Neves and we'll actually drop out the race for Frenkie de Jong. That's the Ruben Neves as nothing. We won't get Neves and de Jong. We are using Neves' name to scare Barcelona into lowering the price for de Jong so we can save £5 million when any good, efficient team like Man City or Liverpool in the transfer market will go and pay that money for de Jong now. United just absolutely faffing about on the de Jong deal. And It's what United do. We haven't changed. We take our time, but I just think pay the freaking money. Barcelona are not stupid. Barcelona know that this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to sign Frenkie de Jong. We're absolutely desperate for Frenkie de Jong. He's pivotal to Ten Hag's plans. He's our number one transfer choice. Barcelona will look at the state of our midfield and go, Frenkie de Jong's exactly who they need. And Barcelona know we'll pay the money. Barcelona are probably not the slightest bit scared about us putting some Ruben Neves links out, us saying we can't afford him, because Barcelona know we can afford him. Barcelona know how much we need him. Barcelona know how much we want him. Barcelona just want to get a bit more money for him, and United should just be like a proper club and pay Barcelona the money that they want. Absolutely does my head in. It's all spin. It's all spin. You're absolutely right. Donny never got a chance. Can only judge him this season. Exactly. So we were going through Man United players, and look, guys, I apologise. This hasn't been my best live stream. I don't know why. I'm just absolutely knackered. I almost fell asleep halfway through my live stream. But look, Tom and I think if we get two midfielders, I don't think we'll see much of McTominay in the starting 11. I think if we get one midfielder, we will see a lot of McTominay. I think if we get two midfielders, I don't think we'll see a lot of McTominay in the starting 11. He was awful for Scotland the other day. Hannibal Mejbri will get a chance. Hannibal Mejbri put in man of the match performances for Tunisia. Mejbri will probably be going to the World Cup. Hannibal Mejbri highly likely to get a chance under Erik ten Hag. Charlie Savage probably not, maybe alone. Sedanic will probably not, maybe alone. Garnacho will be getting a chance. Garnacho is tearing it up at youth level. The goals he's scoring for Argentina, madness. He's absolutely smashing it at the moment. Garnacho obviously won the Jimmy Murphy Award for being the best sort of under-18s player. Did you see him in the Youth Cup final? Garnacho's been brilliant. I think Garnacho will get a call up. Ronaldo will be involved next season. Ronaldo's set to play at United. Marcus Rashford, everyone's saying, you know, what Marcus Rashford's future hold and all of that. What's it with Marcus Rashford? Marcus Rashford's going nowhere. We've lost Lingard. We've lost Mata. That's two people that can play on the right wing. They're gone. Bish, bash, bosh, off. We've lost Cavani. That's an attacker gone. We've lost Greenwood, who can play on the right wing, and that's an attacker gone. And Martial's more likely to leave than Rashford because Martial's expressed his desire to leave United. We will not use Rashford on top of all of those attackers. If Rashford has another stinker of a season, he might be put for sale next summer. But Rashford will be here for another year, and it's up to him to find his form or not. And Ten Hag knows Rashford's young and backs Rashford. Greenwood, he's not coming back. His court case hearing is in a couple of days. I think we'll find out if Greenwood's guilty or not guilty in a couple of days, I believe. But even still, I just think he's not coming back. Even if he's not guilty, I think United have to let him back if he's not guilty. But I think, again, I've always said it's a situation where everyone's heard that audio tape. Everyone has their opinion now. More people believe he's guilty than not guilty, even though he hasn't gone through a fair trial. I think if he comes back, it's going to be a very awkward situation, even if he's found not guilty, because, you know, people have heard that audio tape. So I don't think Greenwood's coming back at all. Cavani is gone. We've got Sancho. We've got Alanga. But I was actually saying this now. Pellistri and Amad Diallo I'd like to see feature next season. Now, Amad Diallo and Pellistri, I think, are wanting loans. They're worried they won't get game time. But for me, I want to see Pellistri and Amad Diallo given a chance. I mean, Rashford's been crap. The fact that Alanga's been a shining player under Ralph Rangnick, and I don't think Alanga's actually better than Amad Diallo or Pellistri. I just think he's got a better work rate. I want to see Amad Diallo and Pellistri involved under Ten Hag. Let me know if you do, but I'm just looking at these players right now, and I can tell you this now. Jadon Sancho will play. Ronaldo will play. Bruno will play. Fred will play. Luke Shaw will play. Delot will play. Varane will play. Maguire, I think, will play. De Gea will play. And they're the only players I think will really play next season under Erik ten Hag. You know, the squad is looking thin. We need to get players in. The squad is looking absolutely thin as well. Glazes out and get players faster. Erik ten Hag will bring the youngsters through. They will get their chance. Hopefully. Erik ten Hag's very good at bringing through youngsters and developing youngsters. Kobe Mainoo is a brilliant talent as well. Donny never got a chance. I can't wait to see Donny next season as well. Let's go for 300 likes, guys. So please do smash that like button if you have not already. And, of course, subscribe down below. Someone said end stream now. Why do you want me to end stream now? I don't know. Look, Ruben Neves is not happening. Isco's not happening. Ericsson could happen, but unlikely. Alice, do you think we'll make it? I think we'll make an official bid this week. I think we will make an official bid this week. Rafinha, I wouldn't mind Rafinha, but I wouldn't want to pay more than 50 million for Rafinha. I wouldn't want to pay more than 40 million for Rafinha. I think he's a little bit overpriced, overrated, but I think he's the kind of player that we need as well. Here is some more news. Here is some more stories. So, It's come out today from the Mail. This is the Mail, so take it with a pinch of salt. That Manchester United want to sign Denzel Dumfries. Well, in fact, we know that Denzel Dumfries is a potential target. Bayern Munich have also shown interest in Dumfries, but Dumfries would prefer to stay Inter Milan or go to United. It's thought that the presence of Ten Hag would help him adapt to the Premier League, but Inter want a fee of €30 million. If we can get £15 million for Wan-Bissaka, I would happily then spend £25 million on Dumfries. But again, this is the Mail reporting Dumfries. I'm sure he's a target. But I think United's right back target is Timber. Now, I don't know. I think we will get Timber, and he is a centre-back, and Jurriën Timber is a centre-back. But I think United want Timber because he can play centre-back and right-back. I think our plan, and I think Ten Hag's plan, is to sell Wan-Bissaka and have Delo and Timber as his right-back options. But Timber can also fill in at centre-back if Maguire's put in stinkers, and then get Malacia as a backup for Luke Shaw and sell Brandon Williams and Telles. I think Ten Hag wants Malacia, Timber. I think he wants De Jong. I think he wants a midfield partner for De Jong. And I know he wanted Nunes, but now he can't get Nunes. I think he wants Antony. I think they're the 5 signings he wants. I know the board will probably get him 3 of those 5 signings and disappoint. It's come out that Amadiello wants to get playing time and is open to another loan, but he has been in dialogue with Eric Ten Hag, but nothing's been decided yet. I think Amadiello could thrive under Ten Hag, and I'd like to see him under Ten Hag. United have been linked to Asensio, but again, I think that's an unlikely deal. Tom Heaton could be going to Middlesbrough, which is an interesting one. Middlesbrough do really, really want Dean Henderson, but he doesn't want to go back to the Championship. But what's come out, and I think this is quite interesting news story here as well. We need a CDM now, I agree. Smash a like if you agree. Also, please do subscribe down below if you're new. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. But the Daily Star, yes, the Daily Star, take it with a pinch of salt, has said Harry Maguire is determined to hang on to his captain's armband and will discuss his role in his role in the team with Eric Ten Hag once he returns to pre-season training. Eric Ten Hag has spent the last few weeks poring over video footage of United's games last season in a bid to get to know the squad and analyse the players' strengths and weaknesses. And Harry Maguire is set to hold key talks with Ten Hag regarding his position as Manchester United captain, and Maguire's thought to be desperate to retain the role. It's come out that Maguire wants to prove himself under Ten Hag and is desperate to retain captaincy. Harry Maguire, you're lucky, and you should be fighting for your starting place, not your captain's armband next season under Eric Ten Hag. Because look, Harry Maguire, I wouldn't sell you. I'd keep you next season. I rate you a lot more than some United fans, and I don't really rate you. But Harry Maguire, you shouldn't be captain. You shouldn't be captain. You should be fighting for your place in the starting 11 next season. You shouldn't be worrying about captaincy. Ronaldo is captain next season, and why I think it's brilliant that, and we should give Ronaldo captaincy next season, is Ronaldo's only here for another year. This means that Eric Ten Hag can have Ronaldo as his temporary captain for a year, the greatest player of all time as his temporary captain for a year, and then once Ronaldo's gone and Eric Ten Hag's had a year to learn the squad, he can think of his new long-term captain and whoever that could be. I just don't think Harry Maguire should stay as captain because he was an absolute failure of captain this season. He couldn't command or gain the respect of his teammates. I just think, Eric Ten Hag's number one priority is to sort out dressing room issues and all of that. And I think keeping Harry Maguire as captain is just going to cause more dressing room issues because they're going to just go, why is he captain? Why is this guy captain? They weren't listening to him as captain as well. I just don't think it's really worth keeping Harry Maguire as captain, even if he wants to stay as captain, because I think he's got to focus on actually, is he going to start in the lineup or not? Is he going to be in the starting 11 or not? Guys, please do subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Of course, smash that like button. Of course, smash that share button. We're 48 subscribers away from 38.3k. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Let's see how many subscribers we can get to all the new people. I do want to apologise that this has been not one of my best live streams. I do want to apologise for practically falling asleep halfway through my live stream. I don't know what it is with me today. I'm just really freaking tired. I think it's because I went out last night as well. But we're talking about De Jong, we're talking about Antony, we're talking about Manchester United and all of that. We're talking about Ten Hag's plans. And also the big thing is that Ten Hag is analysing United's games. Ten Hag wants 5 players in. Ten Hag wants 6 players out. Right now, Ten Hag's had none out and he's had none in. And that needs to change. FRENKIE De Jong, that bid needs to go in this week because we need him by pre-season. He's going to go on holiday after international break and we're not going to be able to get that medical and shit done until after his holiday. So let's hurry up and get FRENKIE De Jong in these next few days. So let's go for Jurriën Timber. Let's go for Sangare. Let's go for whoever Ten Hag wants. Maybe Antony. Now, right now, it's been said that Antony and De Jong are the most likely 2 signings to happen next, and that Antony and De Jong both want to come to United. Timber's also one to keep an eye out on. But, we need to also look at partners for FRENKIE De Jong as well. I can't stress enough how much we need 2 midfielders. I do not want to see De Jong playing next to McTominay and looking crap because he's playing next to McTominay. I just do not want to see that next season as well. Adam Palestri on loan to Premiership club. Yeah, Premier League loan or keep one. I think one of them should stay at United. One of them should go on a Premier League loan. I think actually with the lack of right wings we have, they could do a job. You look at, Arsenal. You look at Arsenal this season, and if you really look at Arteta played Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka, and Martinelli over Pepe. Pepe was, Arsenal's £70 million signing. Pepe was. But who was he playing? The youth. He would rather play Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, and Saka than Pepe, the youth players, over a 70 million signing. And I think that's what United need to do. Just go, actually, let's keep one of Aminal Palestri. We've also got Garnacho that can play on the wing. We've also got Alanga. If Rashford's poor, if Antony's poor, just because we spent a lot of money on someone or just because someone's a bigger name, doesn't mean they need to play. If they're poor, doesn't mean they need to play as well. Internationals finish on Wednesday. The international break's gone on for so long. 4 games, no one cares. Players just want their holiday. We'll probably get Danny Drinkwater for 70 million in the end. The thing is, I'm not even going to lie, that's something United would do. We're absolute imbeciles in the transfer market. That you can't put it past United to go and accidentally spend 70 million on someone like Danny Drinkwater, because I can't actually think of a team that is worse than Man United in the transfer market. We just absolutely horrific at getting business done, aren't we? Absolutely. It infuriates me. City have got Alvarez and Haaland done despite winning the league. Liverpool have spent nearly 100 million on Darwin Núñez despite, everything they achieved last season. And we, in our biggest rebuild yet, we've got a new manager. We're off the back of our worst season yet, and we haven't hurried up and signed a player. It's just like, damn. Red Bull player in. I think we would have got an RB Leipzig player if Ralph Rangnick was still here, but Ralph Rangnick's gone, so I think our chances of getting a Lema or an Nkunku has absolutely dropped significantly. Alice, unfortunately, any player still under contract at United won't dump body. Yeah, the problem is, we again, our wage structure, we can't sell a lot of the players Ten Hag wants out. And if you have those bad eggs in the squad on pre-season, it just drops the dressing room vibe. And Ten Hag's priority is sorting out that dressing room, gaining control, sorting out the dressing room vibe. So, Maguire can't be captain. He couldn't control the dressing room. 100% can't be captain. The players that are causing issues in the dressing room, the players that don't want to be here, we need them sold by pre-season because we want a whole new team around and squad morale for pre-season. We don't want the problems of last season, the player beef of last season coming into this season. This is Ten Hag. This is a new era. This is a new manager. We do not want to be dealing with the shit we had to do last season. But if you've not sold anyone and not brought anyone, you've got a new manager with the exact same squad. And Ralph Rangnick inherited the squad Ollie had. Ralph Rangnick couldn't change it. And look at what Ralph Rangnick's doing at Austria. He's a good manager. Ten Hag can inherit the squad that Ralph Rangnick's got, but we can't change it unless you get rid of players and buy players. And United absolutely stalling on that. I hope we sign Antony. I'd like to sign Antony. I'm not that fussed about Antony. I think, now we haven't got Darwin Núñez. We've got to get the attacker Ten Hag wants. And if Antony's the attacker Ten Hag wants, then, bish, bash, bosh. That's what we need to do. But I just, again, we've got Ahmad, we've got Palestri. For me, it's 2 midfielders, Julian Timber, Malacia, and then the rest of their budget goes on the attacker. Is it Nkunku? Is it Núñez? Is it not Núñez? Sorry, is it Scamacca? Is it Antony? Is it Rafinha? For me, I'm not that fussed about right wing. I think we've got bigger priorities. But if Antony's who Ten Hag wants, we want. And I actually like Antony. I'd be happy if we signed Antony because he's a 22-year-old. He's a very good player up and coming. Gerard Romero, who said everything is ready and prepared to be done if Barcelona get the approval on the economic levers on June 16th regarding Barcelona. And that's Barcelona basically trying to get Bernardo Silva and people in. So maybe that means that Barcelona will need to sell De Jong in the next 4 days. I'm going to put a bet that Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll get an update on De Jong. I just think United have got to put a bid in. I think they've been working on this deal for way too long. I don't think they can drag it out any longer. I think United have just got to put that De Jong bid in because we need to work on other signings. And we know Erik Ten Hag's getting frustrated with Man United. Erik Ten Hag's getting really, really frustrated with Man United because, he wants all his business done and he's not even had one player out or one player in yet. And he wants so much done as well. It's just, we'll have to wait and see. But I would say De Jong soon, Antony maybe soon. But what's been said is De Jong and Antony are likely. Look, De Jong, Antony, Timber, they're all targets. Whether they happen or not, again, you have to wait and see. But I'm fed up with it. I'm really fed up. We're only 60 likes away from 300 likes, so please do Smash that like button as well. And of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Ralph told the board how it is, and they didn't like being told, said Sleeping Bear. Look, the thing that infuriates me, the fact is that Ralph exposed the board. Ralph said these players need to go, we need to get those players in, and Ralph went because he exposed the board. And they're trying to say they've changed. They're trying to say is that, you know, Ralph would obviously prioritise football over commercial success, but the board aren't interested in that, and Ralph is gone. Ralph Rennie came out and said, you know, you needed a CDM desperately. You needed to plan for Matic leaving 2 seasons ago. Why did you spend 90 million on Jong, Ahmad, and Palestri to send them out on loan 2 years later when you could have had a CDM in? Because imagine if we, instead of buying Donny, Ahmad, and Palestri, imagine if we bought a CDM. Yeah, we wouldn't be worrying about a CDM to go next to De Jong. We probably would have got top 4 because that midfield, you know, shocking. 64 million fee for Nunes over 6-year period is really nothing. Is that it? I heard it's 80 million now, not 100 million or something as well. But yeah. I hope this is true. How is Eric Ten Hag meant to work his magic without appointments? Well, hopefully he does get his players that he wants, and hopefully he does get 2 or 3 players in before pre-season. But you cannot trust United. Hard to bring in more than 3 players if 2 cost over 50 million. They can't sell players. You make a good point, but it's our own fault we can't sell players because we've given players such high wages. You know, and it's a weird one for me. I think get De Jong done, get Timber done, get a partner for De Jong done, sell some players. I then get Antony. I think Antony will be available at the end of the window. I think that's an easy deal to do. For me, it's De Jong, Timber, Sangare. Get those 3 done, sell some players, see how much you've got left, and then maybe go for an Antony or a Malacia or even a striker. But you know, it's come out again today that Nunes was who Ten Hag really wanted, and you know, he's pivotal to Ten Hag's plans, and that Ten Hag's very upset that we didn't get Nunes. And so maybe with Ten Hag being very upset we didn't get Nunes, maybe United, that will kick United to hurry up and get De Jong. I do think with the Antony links as well, the day we found out that basically Nunes has gone to Liverpool, the Antony links have gone massive. You know, the day the Nunes kind of stories heat up and gone to Liverpool, the Antony links come out, and you know, I think Antony was second behind Darwin Nunes, and I think, you know, one of the reasons United seem to be pursuing Antony right now is because they probably feel shit that they fucked up Darwin Nunes for Ten Hag, who was one of Ten Hag's number 1 priority and a player Ten Hag wants. Whether we think Darwin Nunes was worth it, I think he was overpriced. I think we shouldn't have been focusing on a striker for that much money. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That was who Ten Hag wants, and we didn't get the player Ten Hag wants, despite talking to them for 6 weeks. And Liverpool, who showed an interest in him 2 days ago, get it done in 2 days. Ten Hag's pissed off, so maybe we're working on the Antony deal. A, as a PR spin, or B, because we've missed out on Nunes and we want to get that attacker in for Ten Hag because he's annoyed, and it's been coming out that Ten Hag is annoyed by what the club is doing. Why are they taking so long on De Jong? You know, and Ten Hag's annoyed because we're spending so long on De Jong that we're missing out on other targets like Nunes. We could miss out on Timber, and you know, United are faffing around in the transfer market, and I've always said it really embarrasses me and annoys me just how quick Man City and Liverpool do business and we don't. And that is why Man City and Liverpool are levels ahead of Manchester United, because you know they can come first and second, they can be the 2 best teams in the world, and then they still do better transfer business than us. In my opinion, Bruno needs to go, plus Fred and McDonald's. I don't mind seeing Bruno and Fred at United next season. I don't mind seeing McTominay as a bench player, but I don't want to see Bruno, Fred, and McTominay all in the same lineup. I do not want to see Fred ever again under Ten Hag, and that is one of the reasons I go on and on and on saying United need 2 midfielders, United need 2 CDMs. 1 midfielder is not enough. We need Frankie de Jong, we need to partner Frankie de Jong, because I do not want to see Fred ever again. Fred is not good enough. Fred gets dominated by every pair they come up against. Like, we don't want to see Fred Man United. We don't want to see it. We don't, you know. So I'm really hoping that we do sort out that midfield as well. Alice, the board will pick the lineup come August, but I think August is too late. If Ten Hag wants his business done by July, you do it in July. He wants to be ready. You know, there's 6 Premier League games in August, or 5 Premier League games in August. 5 games, 15 points up for grab. Let's say we get 11 points. We drop 4 points in August. Those 4 points could be the difference between top 4 or not. And we might drop 4 points in August because we had to play De Jong with McTominay because it took us 4 weeks to actually get the partner for De Jong, and that could be why we dropped 4 points in August, because of McTominay. And it's like, this is why you need your business done before August, because there's 5 games to play in August. There's 16 games to be played before November. Normally there's 12, but there's now 16. There's a lot of games early because of the annoying World Cup in winter. So that's again why United need to get business done early and hurry up as well. I want to do one more thing before I end the live stream, which is build a lineup with you guys. Build a realistic long-term a lineup, and I'm going to show you what I want. I'm going to see what you want, but for me, let's look at Erik ten Hag and let's look at his plan. Let's look at what could be done next season. So we're going to get this lineup on the screen here. It's going to be a 4-2-3-1 if we can find that, and it's going to obviously be red. I mean, we are red and with white shorts, but I'm going to put Timber at right back, okay? Because Erik ten Hag lines up in a 4-2-3-1, but when Erik ten Hag's Ajax's teams are attacking, their right back normally pushes in as a third centre back, which is what I think Timber will do. I think Maguire will play under Erik ten Hag, but I think if Maguire's poor, he will be dropped. And I think Luke Shaw will play under Erik ten Hag. I think Luke Shaw's going to have a good season next year and prove everyone wrong. I really do. I've always said I think there's a good player in Luke Shaw. I think De Gea could have a poor season, though. We're going to put De Jong in. And hopefully we get someone like Sangare to partner De Jong. Because this is my lineup. Sangare, if Garner can be back up, but I think Garner really needs a Premier League loan. One of the reasons we need 2 midfielders is A, so we don't have to see McFred, and B, because I think Garner would benefit more from a Premier League loan where he's playing week in, week out. If we only get in De Jong, I think you've got to keep Garner, but you don't know if you play Garner or not. Because we had a shit midfield and we've lost Pogba and Matic. Imagine having a shit midfield, losing Pogba and Matic, and then bringing in De Jong to replace 2 players. The midfield was already short before we lost Pogba and Matic, which means we need at least 2 midfielders. Fred would be my backup for De Jong as well. I think there's a good player there in Fred. One sec, let me just reply to this. Sorry about that. But I think Bruno will play. But I think if Bruno drops off in form, we'll see Donny. I just hope we get to. I'm going to put Anthony here. But if we don't, I think if we don't get Anthony, we'll go for Rafinha. And then I want to see Ahmad/Palestri. One of them stay and be involved. I want to see Sancho. I think Sancho is one of the few players that I think is a guaranteed star in a Ten Hag. Like, I think Sancho is a player that Ten Hag will like. I honestly think out of all the Man United players, Sancho is one that's just going to thrive next season. I don't know why. Like, I have a feeling about Sancho. But I'm trying to think. If Ten Hag can get 5 players in, which I'm not saying that he will, but if he can, Timber, Delo. If let's say Ten Hag can get 5 players in and 6 players out like he wants, that could potentially be the options for next season, which I don't think are bad options. I don't know what you think. I don't think they're bad options. But look, people are going to laugh that Maguire's on there. He is covering Maguire. You make a good point. I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm not saying this is what I want. I would like this. I'm not saying it's what I want. There was a few things I'd change, but I'm trying to be realistic as well. But Timber, I will believe, will push in as a right centre-back. But look, I'm going to end the live stream here, guys. Look, I do apologise. This wasn't one of my best live streams. I've woken up now, but about 20 minutes into the live stream, I was on the verge of falling asleep. So I don't even know if what I said made sense. Like, I don't even know if what I said made sense halfway through the live stream. So I do apologise. I'm really tired today, but I feel fine now. But smash a like, smash a subscribe. I will be back live tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Sorry I couldn't get through loads of live chats, but I'm going to end the live stream now. Sorry it wasn't one of the best live streams, but we are back tomorrow with more United news updates. Hopefully a De Jong and Timber update, especially De Jong. I think we're going to get a Timber update this week as well. Romana did say that, but subscribe, like, share. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.